All right, how I was able to successfully lucid dream yesterday. And I'll try my best to keep this story extremely short. Basically, I've been trying to really keep up with my mental, spiritual, physical practices and stuff like that. In order to lucid dream, if you're trying to accomplish it, you have to at least practice meditation, which helps a lot. And then you have to also give yourself certain cues. Like, for example, one of your cues may be to look at your hands during the day and say to yourself before you go to sleep, I will look at my hands and know that I am dreaming. And so I was doing that for the last week or so, and a lot of meditation like every day. And yesterday, I decided I woke up early in the morning and I couldn't sleep. And when I do that, I usually meditate. So I meditated for 30 minutes, went back to sleep. Yeah, so basically, this wasn't my first lucid dream. I've done it successfully after, like, I've been reading a book called Lucid Dreaming by Robert Waggoner. If you want the PDF, hit me up. But through using that book, I learned some things, but also in the past, when I did it, I was able to first lucid dream and then like kind of explore the terrain. But then the second time, I was able to actually speak to a dream figure and ask them, like what's their purpose? Why are they here? And this guy was in that particular case, this guy was on the airport telling me he knew how he could get me to make money. And I'm like, what's your purpose? Like, why are you here? And he's like, look, man, I just want to make you money. And then I woke up. So yeah, yesterday after my 30 minutes of meditation, I go back to sleep and then like I start to dream, and in this case almost immediately I just know this is a dream. But get this, guys, I had the most exhilarating experience of my life because a nigga flew. I flipping flew. I was flying, bro. I flew, and I vividly remember flying. Yeah, I can't tell you with absolute certainty whether I was flying through the Grand Canyons. I was just flying through an area that looked exactly like what I imagined the Grand Canyons to look like. And I just remember flying, I see birds. It was a very sunny day, and I just pitched up, well, perched, because that's what flying people do. We perch. And since I was a flying nigga now, Anyway, so I perched up on this zone near one of the rocks, and I just look around and I'm like, wow. So I was in and out of lucidity for the rest of the dream, like realizing I'm dreaming, and then there's some other things that happen. But just for people that want to know what I did, I for a week looked at my hands and said I look at my hands and know that I'm dreaming, which is interesting because in this dream I was so lucid that I looked at my hands, because looking at your hands in the dream stabilizes the dream. But I was so stable, I looked at my hands, but I'm like, nah, man, in here I flying. And for those of you unaware of what a lucid dream is, it's basically when you're having a dream and then you become cognizant or conscious of the fact that you are in a dream. And so start to make conscious decisions like talking to people, walking around the environment, or changing the environment itself. Now, the reason I'm a fan of it is because it's very related to meditation, and that meditation is when you consciously step away from your thoughts. You can't stop your thoughts, but you could step away from them. You observe them, you breathe, and you become awareness. And it's within that muscle that you develop from meditation that you're able to consciously step away from the role you play in your dream, and you become aware of it. And I think that's why meditation helped to be that launch pad that allowed me to have this recent experience. I will say that I also love the idea of being able to lucid dream because it gives me more time to experience life from a different plane of existence while I sleep and rest my physical body. And if I want to work on something, I could talk to sages and masters and stuff that are in my subconscious mind. I know it sounds wild, but you talking to a nigga who flew. Nigga, you ever flew? I flew, nigga, listen to me.